And now, it's time for the Ford Advantage, presented by Maritime Ford, home of the 1% rule.
Maritime Ford, Lincoln Mercury, it's time for Maritime.
Steve Lawson from Maritime Ford with you again. Last week we had our first 5-minute show dedicated to Ford and the state of the American automobile industry. Specifically, we focused on how Ford is leading the pack in terms of technology, safety, and fuel economy. One of the technologies you're going to start hearing a lot about is Ford's new EcoBoost engine lineup. Now, everyone has heard of the magazine Popular Mechanics. Well, this new technology is so advanced that Popular Mechanics awarded EcoBoost its 2009 Breakthrough Award for Innovation. Now, to give you an idea of how amazing this acknowledgement is, another finalist was bacteria-powered batteries, okay? This is intense stuff. So how does it work? What you've done, essentially, is to take a six-cylinder engine, and through direct fuel injection and turbocharging, they give that engine the power and torque of an 8-cylinder engine, but without sacrificing the fuel economy of that V6. So how potent is this technology? It is so potent that the flagship of Lincoln, the new Lincoln MKS, is not even offered with a V8 next year. Now, could you imagine your old town car not having a V8? But the best part of this new engine is it's actually more powerful than the V8 it replaces. And unlike every other luxury model out there, these high-end vehicles don't require premium gas. Okay, and here's the cherry on top of your automotive ice cream. Ford doesn't even use gas caps anymore. We don't need them because the whole system now seals itself whenever you're done filling up with gas. Now, some of you are probably like, big deal, but for those of us that have ever had a check engine light come on because we didn't tighten our gas cap enough, you know what a godsend this is. This is one of those no-brainers that makes you wonder, why wasn't this around 10 years ago? And no other domestic manufacturer has this stuff yet. So take the nicest vehicle Ford makes, fill that V6 up with regular gas, flip shut your fuel door without worry, and then feel the power of a V8 while you still enjoy the miles per gallon of your V6. Now, this is basically what it's going to be like for a few years while we all wait and see what the new fuel of choice is going to become. For what it's worth, I'm still not sold on crop-based fuels like E85 and ethanol yet, because while the end result, it does look good on paper, the process to manufacture these fuels is still an environmental nightmare, kind of on par with regular gasoline production. Now, running a car on hydrogen is probably where my kids will end up, and I gotta admit, I love the idea of your car's exhaust pumping out nothing more than water vapor. That's cool. But the technology to make it affordable to the masses is still decades away. Electric cars, they're making a comeback. But as you'll soon see with next year's Chevy Volt, this technology is still very expensive. And, well, frankly, if your electricity is being produced by a coal-burning plant, you're not doing anything to help the environment by driving an electric car. If I had to make a bet today, I'd say that diesel and probably more specifically biodiesel fuels will probably end up the short-term winners while we kind of wait for these other technologies to become affordable. Diesel has come a long way from the noisy, dirty, unsophisticated engines of the 80s and 90s, so much so that Ford has developed a brand new diesel engine, and it takes advantage of all these improvements Diesel's made, and we're going to be launching that in a few months on all of our new Super Duty pickup trucks. It's a new 6.7-liter diesel. Well, yeah, this thing's going to be awesome. At any rate, the game's constantly changing, and what's hot today will almost certainly be obsolete within a few years. This much I do know. Because the automobile industry has to increase fuel economy so dramatically in such a short period of time, this is like literally within the next few years, you're going to see everyone scrambling to put their most fuel-efficient foot forward. My opinion is that the companies that continue to invest in research and development over these past few years, they're going to be in the driver's seat to get the best of these technologies to you affordably. And guys, no one is outspending Ford in this regard. That EcoBoost engine I was referring to at the start of this, that engine, it's going to be in virtually every Ford within the next 2 years. That means that the Focus will have the power and snap of a V6 while keeping its fuel-sipping 4-cylinder engine. That means that the Ford Fusion will be able to increase its horsepower while still remaining the most fuel-efficient mid-size sedan out there. It almost makes a V8 engine pointless. Now, did you ever expect to hear that from an American car company? Have a great day. Thanks for your time.
You've been listening to the Ford Advantage, presented by Maritime Ford, home of the 1% rule. Don't forget to tune in again next Monday morning at 11:15 for another edition of the Ford Advantage with Steve.
It's time for Maritime. Maritime Ford, Lincoln Mercury. It's time for Maritime. It's time to come and see the Maritime difference. To put the fun back in the buying experience. Maritime Ford. you got a friend in